Hello folks, hope you're doing well today. We're doing a brief tutorial about BSA Internet Rechartering. It's that time of year. We're simply going to be walking through what you do for your recharter as you prepare on October 1st to access that information to get your boys registered for the upcoming calendar year. So we're going to start off here on our main page. I got to this page by simply Google searching BSA Rechartering. You can also access it through various ways, the council website and the National Scouting.org website. But if you Google search BSA Rechartering, the first item that will open up will open up to this page here. Some basic instruction right here on the main page you want to just make note of. And then to actually access the Recharter on October 1st, you'll click here as a first-time user. In this case today, I'm actually going to walk you through this tutorial, which is right here, and which you can also go through later as well on your own. But first, we're going to click on the tutorial and go there. So I've clicked on the tutorial, and let me just make sure my settings show you that screen. Awesome. Okay, so first, this is just basic instruction and welcoming you. So we're going to click welcome and move on to the next one. We're going to click as a first-time user, as stated in the instruction box there in blue. It gives us some sample items we can input, but this will be very similar to your own experience. Each of you will be provided with an access code for your various unit levels, so please make sure you look at those. Those are oftentimes on the outside of your Recharter packet, or contact your district executive if you don't know that information, and he can help you out or she can help you out. Okay, so we're going to click put in our access code. And then our unit number. For this example, our unit number is 0001. Click continue. We're going to click agree. And then the next page is going to ask for some basic information. What is your name? What is your email address? And this is important because we want to know who is working on the Recharter. That way, if any problems do arise, we can contact you as soon as possible from the BSA side of things. You're going to create your password. Make it whatever you want. If you'll be the only one accessing the Recharter, make it however you want. If you'll be doing the Recharter with several other people in your unit, you may want to make it something generic that everyone will know and remember, maybe associated with the unit, but completely up to you. We're going to verify our password, again, all of our information, and then register. Okay, so we're going to first just go through this first page is just showing us the different instructions and stages that we'll go through here in the Recharter. Take a moment to read that. If you've never done the Recharter before, it'll help you get familiar with what to expect. Once we're done, we'll click begin. All right, so this gives us two options on this page. One is to load the council's information, meaning it will load all the information for the youth and adults that are registered in your unit, or you can upload your information for the youth and leaders that are registered in your unit files through Scout, ScoutMate, or Troop Master, Pack Master, whatever it might be. My recommendation would be load council information. It's a lot less complicated if you go that route, and it just is a lot easier. So go ahead and load council information. Again, going through the various steps of stage 2, we're going to click next step. Okay, it's asking for the chartering organization information. So this is asking, is the address correct of where your meeting location is, phone number, all those different things. So we want to make sure that's up to date. And we are all set. Oh, let's see, I need to input a telephone number here, I guess, for this tutorial. Here we go. All right, we'll click next step. Okay, now we're going to view the youth and the roster, the adults and youth that are on the roster. This first page here is all the adults. And so we're going to review that list. And as you go down your list, you may realize, you know what, that person is no longer in this unit. And this is where you're going to select those individuals. So we are going to check, let's say, for example, Ruth Barrett is no longer in our pack or our unit. We're going to unselect or deselect his name, and that means he will be removed from our unit. So if he won't be in our unit for 2018 or the upcoming year, we'll take him off. Click next, and then it will review what changes you made, saying these members are being renewed for next year and the following are not. Next step. Then we're going to use promote. This is where we are promoting one individual from one unit level to the next. So for example, if you're doing the recharter for your troop and you're promoting individuals from the pack or whatever direction, this is how you'll do that if you need to move them to different rosters or different unit levels. Okay, so we're going to click on the troop number here. This is where we're going to promote from on this. We're going to click continue. And we're going to move Chris Barrick to our unit. And that is simple as it gets. You just simply move them over and then make that change. All right, and then this is how we would add a new adult application form. So hopefully during the last couple of weeks you've been collecting all new and needed application forms for youth and adults that are not registered currently in your unit but need to be. So if you have anyone in that situation, this is where you'll add them on your next step. And it will give us an option later for adding a youth as well. So we're going to click add or new adult, which means we're going to add, say we have an application form in front of us for our new committee member or whatever the position might be. We're going to add them here. So we'll click new adult, and then we're going to put in all the information on the application form. And this person we're going to make a den leader in our unit. And then we're going to click next after we filled out all the other information. And this tutorial is just having us do some real basic items. Okay, we need to put our driver's license here. 777. Click next. And then again, just some more information from the application form. And this tutorial is having us input an email address here. And then clicking save, that will save all the information we've just input. Okay, now one thing to make note of, even though you added the person to the recharter essentially, you'll still need that application form to be submitted with the actual recharter. Once you've printed this paperwork that you've done at the end here, you want to keep those application forms and submit it with the recharter. Click OK, and then there's no more new adults that we have, so we're going to click next. Now let's say, for example, we have a new youth, someone that's new to the program that needs to be added to the charter. We're going to click there on new youth. And we're going to, next to his first name, we're going to put John here, input his information, click next. Youth email, we're going to put Boy Scout John. Oftentimes this will be a parent's email address. Click next. Is the parent regarding an adult member of this unit? So for example, if you have the parent that's the den leader or scoutmaster or committee member or whatever, they need mark yes. In this case, we're going to say no. Okay, and then his address here, we're going to put in all the information. You can see it's a real simple process, just takes time. So the sooner you can get going on the recharter, the better, as it will make your lives easier as we head into the holiday season here. And it will also add a lot of different things by getting the charter done early for your scouting experience as well. It gets it out of the way. It allows it for next year, making sure awards and advancement are conflicting with the charter. So the sooner you can get it done, the better. All right, and then on our youth ones, it's going to ask about parents' information like it does on the application form itself. So we're simply taking all the information from the application form, putting it digitally on here. We'll click save. Youth added successfully. All right. Okay, so once we're done with all of our new youth application forms, we're going to click next step. Now, something of, I guess, that would help for future years in recharter, the sooner you get application forms turned into the council office, they'll process this all this information. So if you ever have a change and need to add an application form or change it throughout the year, do it during the year. That way at charter time, you're simply deselecting members that are no longer involved in the unit, because all your unit people are up to date because you've been adding their application forms throughout the year. So just a note that may help you for future reference. Okay, so here we have a possibility to update members' home information and whatnot. So we're going to update. We realize that Jurgen Combs here, his information needs to get updated. So we're going to click update there. If any of his positions need to be updated or contact information, address, whatnot, this is the place to do that. Click next, and we're going to actually edit his home phone number. This is going to say 4181 rather than 61. So we'll add our 8 there. We'll click next and update, and that will update his information. Then we'll click next step here. Again, we're still in the My Roster or Update Roster section. Also, same thing, if you're updating someone's position, you can do that over here on the left-hand side by the names. Also, I want to point out on the right-hand side over here, it gives shows every unit position and make sure everything is filled. If something is incorrect, you'll see a red highlighted number over there saying this doesn't have the needed position, or it has too many, or whatever the reason might be. Okay, so we're going to update Robert Steiner's information. So we're going to click update over here. We're going to update his position. And we're going to update him to a committee member. He went from committee chairman here to committee member, just a change in position. And we'll click save and then move on to our next stage here. Then we're going to just do an overall check of the roster. We've made all these changes. We've removed people from the roster. We've added people, both youth and adults. And we're going to just do an overall check here. Okay, and it looks like everything was good to go. So let's do a summary of our roster here, and it is showing us that we need to update Corey's information over here. So we're gonna say, and this is for payment, concerning payment and stuff. Payment varies by unit, so be conscientious of that. For example, LDS units, they pay through their LDS church headquarters in Salt Lake to the BSA national office, where oftentimes non-LDS units, they pay directly to the local council, and then the council moves those fees to the national office. So do know what you're working with and whatnot. So for this, for example, Corey, he would like to have Boys Life magazine. So we're going to click check right there and save. Any of your boys, no matter the unit, that want Boys Life, you'll need to make sure to collect those funds as well as when you do this at the charter time. We're going to click next. So this is for our youth that were dropped from the unit level. It's asking why this person no longer is here. And so we're going to say that each person was contacted. And then the reason for them leaving, you'll just mark down here. It gives you several different options. In this case, it will be option number 4. Oftentimes dealing with, did they move? Did they grow out of scouting to a different group? Did they, whatever the occasion might be. Click save, next. And then once you're ready to submit to council, we're going to click right down here, submit to council. This means we are done. So do not click submit to council unless you are totally done. Now, I will say this, anytime, as long as you haven't submitted to council, let's say you've done half of your charter, but need to do something else and log back in later, that will save that information you've done so far. So you can always log back in and pick up where you left off. So once you're all the way done, once you've submitted, you'll need to have access to a printer, and you will print the Recharter. And this is very important because this is what we will need from the Boy Scout side of things. This printed sheets, usually, I don't know, 4 to 6 pages, somewhere around there, along with the adult application forms and youth application forms. And then we'll move forward. Let's see, and it's telling me here, click instructions. Yep, so that kind of just does some basic instructions for us. But anyways, Once you've printed that sheet, you will need some signatures, just like each application form. The charter needs signatures. We need the annual charter agreement form, which needs to be signed by your local district executive, your institutional head, and the the institutional head and the district executive. So make sure you get that signature from the institutional head, whether that's president of the Elks Lodge, the Rotary Club, the bishop of your ward, whatever the case might be. And then also the forms that you've printed off will also need signatures as well from the COR and the unit leader, or excuse me, the institutional head and the unit leader. Apologize for that. All right, and that is the basics of your Recharter, the online portion. Don't forget, this opens October 1st, so please log on October 1st and give your district executive, if you have any questions, a phone call, an email, a text message. But it really is a simple process as you keep up to date and just get it done. So please let us know if you have any questions. I hope this tutorial was beneficial and that you have a great day. Thank you.